Hello, welcome to Harry's Horror Books, and today I'm going to be showing off my book spinner rack. Technically not a book rack, it's a greeting card rack that I rescued from the trash, but I use it to display some of my favorite books. This has 9 rows, 8 pockets each row, so it holds 72 books. I double up some books, but I took those off to display. I'll show those at the end. But here is a quick view of what we have on here. I want to start off with my Avon Satanic Gothics. These are beautiful books. Probably wouldn't be made nowadays, but you never know. But you know, they all have that Satanic Gothic logo on them. I have 10 of these. I believe there's only 11, so there's still one more I'm hoping to come across and use bookstores or trading with anybody. But, you know, they're really stunning covers, reminiscent of that Gothic era. And underneath this row, I have some Dennis Wheatley, Amy Jean, which is another occultist type of book, more Wheatley. Again, the Dennis Wheatley books have great covers, and I like them. Next, we have the Avon red cover books. There were only 10 of these made. Beautiful artwork. And I believe I have all 10. I do. A lot of these authors I've never heard of until I got these books. The only one I am familiar with was the Richard Matheson book, but beautiful covers. Down here is a book I've already shown before, but The Black Exorcist. So happy to have this in my collection. Underneath these we have some Peter Saxon books. And if you notice, there is a theme to this. I have a lot of books that were satanic in nature, dealing with the devil, all that kind of good stuff. And carrying on the theme, devil stuff, satanic stuff, beautiful satanic-like covers. That's a beautiful cover on this one. This one, just read that. A grossly endowed evil dwarf, a man-like creature of insatiable sexual appetite. We do know Kenneth Johnson. He's written some other books that we all probably have. I do love this cover. If you look at the name, Natas, that's Satan backwards. Nice vampire cover. That's my favorite cover of this Image of the Beast book. Isobel. Great cover on this book. Everyone seems to love this book. I was lucky enough to get this hidden in a science fiction book lot. It is probably science fiction-ish, but us horror collectors collect it. But instead of paying ridiculous prices, I paid a couple bucks. Transformation. This is a Playboy publication, I believe. Let's look at that. Yep, Playboy Press. These books are pretty cool, the Playboy Press books. This book here I was after for a while. I got this in a trade with a friend from England. Very happy to have this. Next, I do have a whole selection of J.N. Williamson books. Nothing to do with Satanism, but I had a lot of them. They're pretty cool covers. Some of these are my mom's, so they look good in my spinner rack. I love this cover, and I definitely love that cover. That's a cool cover as well. I have a different version of this one. It's just amazing how the different covers are marketed to make it look like a totally different book. That's a nice cover on that Brian Skoll book. This is my favorite cover of All Heads Turn When the Hunt Goes By. There's copies from my mom's collection. I have another version of this book also from her collection. Mom apparently liked to buy different covers of books, probably not realizing she already read it, which is a problem that happens to all of us, but this is an amazing book. I would recommend anyone reading this book if you have it. More cool covers. That's a nice creepy cover on Babel's Children. I like to show this to my two girls and tell them that this is them in a past life. And that's it for the spinner rack. Let me show you the 29 books that are not on the spinner rack now because they're covering. Here's a little quick view of more of how I display my books. I used to work at a comic and collectible store in the 80s, so everything was about merchandising and showing things off and making people want to buy them. So that comes over into my personal life. So here's the rest of the Jan Williamson books I do have on the spinner rack. Some books take multiple pockets. This cover is nothing to write home about, but look at this cover compared to the other cover, the evil one. And this is a totally different version of Playmates. And I'm pretty sure I have more Jan Williamson books that are not on my display. But here we go, some more books that are on my spinner rack. And where I have like 2 books in a pocket. More Dennis Wheatley. These are the versions I like of his covers, whatever publisher this is. Valentine. I know I showed this book before in a different post. Very early Zebra book. Happen to love this cover. And more Devils, Satan. Different cover of Michelle Remembers, the whole Satanic pack, scare. Like this cover of a Fritz Lieber's book. There are multiple versions of this book out there, but this is my favorite cover. Don't know anything about this book, but it's a crazy, creepy cover worthy of being displayed. Another Satan book, Kids and Satan. Love this cover too. This has nothing to do with Satan or the devil, but it's just a beautiful cover. I happen to like that phrase, men like gods. And Brian McNaughton's books. I have 1, 2, and 3. I know there's a 4 or 5. They're so hard to find. This one right here, I found this in a used bookstore for 50 cents. And again, like every other book, there's multiple versions of the same book. So that is the same book, different versions. I happen to like the cover on the left more, but, you know, they're both cool to have. And that is it. You know, that's it for my spinner rack. I enjoy having this around me. You know, it looks cool down in my little nook here with all my books. Don't actually have an official bookcase. I have a little display here where I have some of my Robert McCammon, Brian Lumley, H.P. Lovecraft, and some miscellaneous books. As you can see, this used to be a spice rack. But reuse. That's what we do when we buy these used books. We're saving them from the landfill, and I saved this little display from the landfill as well, and it's serving me well. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to watch and listen. I hope that you like and subscribe this video, and look forward to more content soon. Thank you.